Wednesday evening hoops coming to you on this Spresleville presentation here on the OH Report as the East Knox Lady Bulldogs travel up to Lucas, Ohio to take on the Lucas Lady Cubs. We've got pregame and action analysis and more coming your way on the other side of this break right here on the OH Report.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Welcome back, everyone, to our pregame show sponsored this evening by Spherion Mid-Ohio. Hayden Gray, Joshua Banks from the Cub Cave here with you this evening, and we're going to be taking a look at the Lucas Lady Cubs and the East Knox Lady Bulldogs, and we'll start off by taking a peek at what the home Lucas Lady Cubs have done this season with their team spotlight. Obviously, a bit of a tough trial year for the Lady Cubs thus far. Obviously, the most notable injury for the East Knox Lady Bulldogs, who do have a couple as well, though. A couple injuries that they have been plagued with as well. At this year, Shannon Mielik out for the season. Isabella Grenell also out for the season, but they're averaging 30 points per game. Defense is giving up 42 points per game. And they're led by head coach Mandy Todd. They have a current overall record of 1-2, 1-0. We'll pause for the national anthem and resume in just a moment. All right, well, we'll hop right back in where we left off and finish up taking a look at the Lady Bulldogs. They did defeat Lucas last season 76-54 on December 6th, but their season ended to eventual district champion Bern Union 45-21. Lady Bulldogs just one win this year, but over a Fredericktown team who's no slouch in the KMAC. And now we will dive in, though, a little bit closer and take a look at our player spotlight for the East Knox Lady Bulldogs here this evening. Obviously, some girls have had to step up this year that don't have as much experience, but one that has been standing out has been senior Natalie Smith. She's had 13 points versus Heath, 4 versus Pleasant, and 8 points versus Fredericktown. So someone that's going to need to come in here and have a big day today. Let's look at our keys to the victory now for the Lady Bulldogs, who, want to come off that last game was their victory, 43-33 over Fredericktown. A couple things they'll need to do to try and translate that to success tonight is experience and youth. Combine those two things, and then also use that balanced attack that they've been able to find, scoring more, obviously, than they're giving up on defense.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to come out and score more than 30 points tonight. They do have a definite numbers advantage, as we see the Lucas Lady Cubs here only dressing 6 compared to 9, maybe 10 for the East Knox Lady Bulldogs. So definitely going to have a numbers advantage. We'll see if they can take advantage of it.
And let's take a look at those Lucas Lady Cubs, as you mentioned. A little bit down on the roster end of things tonight, but head coach Kathy Grover always going to get the girls ready and give them a chance to come out and succeed. The current results this season, it's obviously not what anybody has wanted. We were here in the building, caught the tail end of their win over Central Christian 44-35, but it's been tough going, as you see by these results so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely. They've struggled this year, had a great year last year. Record doesn't say a lot, but they ran into a very talented Mohawk team in the tournament, and they had Shelby Grover at that time, all Ohio, for a reason. So it's been really interesting to watch this year, watch them grow right in front of our eyes and see how much they continue to grow.
So obviously rough with Shelby out this season, but someone that has been having a good year is freshman Katie Griffey. Let's dive in and take a look at what she's been able to do in their 6 games so far this season. The freshman forward stands at 5'7", wears number 35 for the Lady Cubs. And, they're a team that averages just around 18.7 points per game, and she scored over 10 points 3 times and close to it against Black River. So someone that's going to need to come out and put up points. And let's look at our keys to victory right before tip here for the Lucas Lady Cubs. Going to be interesting to see how that youth comes out here today. So they're going to need to match the Bulldogs' intensity. Head coach Mandy Todd said that's one of their best critical things that they have, and adapt to defensive looks that may come at them. And that will wrap up our pregame, brought to you by Spherion Mid-Ohio. We'll pull up the starting lineups once we get some pauses in the action, but we'll kick things off. East Knox wins the tip. Swinging the ball around now. Turnover early on. That's going to be critical for Lucas to try and force some of those, help their favor out. As Maggie Rastelli brings the ball up now for the Lady Cubs, swings it over to Olivia Brown. Back up to Rastelli. She'll pick up a foul. That'll go on number 35, Raylan Todd. East Knox first team foul, her first personal foul.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting to see how these Lady Cubs tonight can make those turnovers into offensive points. Is it drawing foul? Is it going to get layups? They're going to have to turn these turnovers into production in some way if they're going to have a chance tonight.
Inbounds to Rastelli. Works the ball inside. That time Olivia Brown just a little bit too strong. Rebound goes to the Lady Bulldogs. Natalie Smith works the ball around. Goes up for the layup. Offensive rebound grab there. Shot no good. That was Sydney Opfer. Still in there battling. And another offensive board goes to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, these Lady Cubs are going to have to box out and get some rebounds on the defensive end if they're going to have a chance. We're going to have a foul. Bassett's going to be good by Natalie Smith. And that's 5 offensive possessions there for the Lady Bulldogs.
And they turn it into a chance for 3 points. As you said, Natalie Smith picks up the layup and the foul, so she'll have a chance for a 3-point opportunity here early into the first quarter. And while she's at the line, let's pull up the lineup for the East Knox Lady Bulldogs. Their starters tonight: Natalie Smith, Raylan Todd, Kaya Salyers, Ella Diven, and Sydney Opfer. And again, they are coached by Mandy Todd. So they did knock down the free throw. Ball will stay with Lucas down in the corner. So an early 3-0 lead for the Lady Bulldogs. Moving around on defense, getting a hand on it was number 35, Raylan Todd.
Picks up the early foul, but still being aggressive.
We'll see how these Lucas Lady Cubs gel and kind of mesh out here on the court this evening. That shot's up and good from Katie Griffey, who we took a look at earlier to open up the night. Their first shot, her first points of the game. East Knox now moving the ball around. Ella Diven will line one up for 3. That shot no good. And head coach Mandy Todd had called for a timeout now. One of the special things here at Lucas is how close you are to the court. Actually called for the timeout while the ball was in the air, but officials, that ball was already in the air. They let that shot continue, but she got the timeout. So while we're here, let's take a look at the starters tonight for the Lucas Lady Cubs. Maggie Rastelli, the freshman guard. Leah Burley, the freshman forward. Olivia Brown, the lone sophomore forward. Kiara Ammons, the freshman center. And Katie Griffey, the freshman forward. So 4 underclassmen getting the nod tonight. Technically 5. The oldest out there on the court is sophomore. So we'll see how that plays out tonight, but obviously a lot of veteran leadership still here on the bench, rooting them on, offering some guidance as we resume play. That rebound goes to East Knox. Shots up, no good. Now rebound to Lucas.
Quick turnover by the Lady Cubs, though. So we're going to have a travel. It's going to be on number 15, Ella Diven.
You see that one more time on our Mechanics Bank instant replay. Just one too many steps, a little too anxious to navigate her way into the lane. So we remain at a score of 3-2 as the Lady Cubs turn the ball over.
And it's going to be important for the Lady Cubs tonight to really possess the ball. Having only 6 girls dressed is going to make it difficult to, you get tired, you're going to have to deal with it tonight. So they're going to have to possess the ball and just kind of slow things down and have control. They can't run up and down the floor. They don't have the girls for it this evening.
Turnover there by the Lady Bulldogs. Reeled in by Lucas. They look to try and take their first lead of the evening. Ball kicked inside to Kiara Ammons, who connects and gives the Cubs a 1-point lead, up 4-3, just over 5 minutes left in the first quarter. That shot, East Knox responds right back, gets that lead back.
That was Ray and Todd with a beautiful elbow jumper there.
Obviously, neither team with a JV this season, so tip-off was moved from 7:30 to 6 o'clock as the Lady Cubs turn it over, but East Knox will do the same. Too much on that pass from Ella Diven. As Lucas will bring in their one and only sub that they have this evening. Alyssa Arnold will check in.
Another freshman.
And Leah Burley will take a seat. Three turnovers for both teams here in the first quarter. Maggie Rastelli working the ball around. They do want to attack that inside. Kiara Ammons grabbed the ball, but just too many steps on the shuffle. Picked up her pivot foot, and that'll be a turnover. Not too many times that we have an opportunity to see East Knox outside of KMAC country. Lucas not too far from some of these schools, though. A lot of talk that Lucas fits that similar mold as a lot of KMAC schools. As we'll have a foul called. I believe that one was called on Katie Griffey, her first, team second.
And there you see Smith, Natalie Smith, she gets to the basket at will. Great assist there to get the foul call.
First free throw a bit short for Todd. She'll have one more opportunity now to try and give her team a 2-point lead. Second shot on the way. And it is good. So one of two from the trip to the charity stripe that time. Rastelli brings the ball up the court for the Lady Cubs. Works the ball inside, dishes it off to Kiara Ammons, who connects for her second basket here in the last few moments.
Another offensive rebound. We're going to have a jump ball. It's going to go to the Lady Cubs. And the Lady Cubs, they've got to start boxing out and getting some of these defensive rebounds. It feels like every shot that the Lady Bulldogs put up on the offensive end, they're getting 2 or 3 possessions on top of the one miss.
Well, and they've got height with Kiara Ammons and Katie Griffey standing at 5'8" and 5'7". They've been battling. It just hasn't been done yet. Bucket was good from Olivia Brown, but officials say she traveled before the shot went up, so that'll be Lucas's 5th turnover here in quarter number 1. Natalie Smith now leading the charge. A little bit of a push off. Officials say no contact. Shot no good, and again a battle for the board. Possession will stay with the Lady Bulldogs.
Leah Burley's going to check back in, replacing Tiara Ammons.
Natalie Smith kicks it up. Ella Diven tried another three-pointer and shot no good, but offensive board initially went to Jaden Annette, but couldn't balance beam her way along the sideline, so that'll be a turnover in the stat books. Tied up here at 6 apiece, almost 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Both teams hungry for a win. Olivia Brown puts a shot up, no good. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs, who are so far winning that rebounding battle on the offensive and defensive glass. Diven drives inside. That shot put up, no problem with that one.
Yeah, and that's a great job by Diven to get to the free throw line. Looks like what to be her comfort zone and pull up and knock down a nice little jumper.
Rastelli will slow things down. And they'll say the ball went off her last. Sixth turnover for the Lady Cubs here. So East Knox tries to set back up on the offensive side, get back to work. Working the inside-outside game. Kick back up top now. Natalie Smith will fire a three. That one hit everywhere but through the net. But again, that toughness on the second effort earns the Lady Bulldogs the ball back. Diven will reset at the top. Kicks it back to Smith. East Knox trying to get some movement. Good defense on this possession from Lucas. Seeing a lot of grit out of them. Jump ball, and they do have possession, so they'll get the rock back in their hands with 1:52 to play. Kiara Ammons comes back in as Alyssa Arnold sits down for the Lady Cubs. For the Lady Bulldogs, Sydney Opfer checks back in. Really promising player, stands at 6 foot tall. I know Coach Todd very excited about the things she has been doing as just a sophomore.
And both of these teams, I mean, East Knox has a lot of seniors on their roster, but a couple of them being injured. So both of these teams are young, looking to grow on the year.
Kaya Salers picked up her first foul on that possession, just the second team foul for East Knox here in the second quarter. Both teams with 2. That'll be another critical aspect of the Lady Cubs game today. Want to avoid foul trouble with just one substitution on the bench to rotate. Olivia Brown kicks it outside now Three-pointer up. Shot no good from Leah Burley. Natalie Smith takes it inside, puts up a layup. Just rims out again, but Opfer with the offensive board and gets it to go. Bulldogs now have a 4-point lead.
And Sydney Opfer just using her height there. I mean, reaches up over top of the Cubs defender and just grabs the offensive rebound and puts it right back up. We're going to have another travel on the Lady Cubs.
And I did have a brief moment, I talked to Mandy Todd just about how teams mentally deal with having not one, not two, but multiple season-ending injuries on a roster, what that does to the rest of the team, their mentality. And, quite frankly, she just said, it sucks. It hurts. Obviously not what any side wants to see, but you only get so many opportunities, and you got to make the most of it. And, they've definitely been very supportive, she said, still at practice and on the bench. East Knox doesn't get that look to go. 21 seconds now. Natalie Smith pushing the pace, puts up a layup. A little too strong, gets her own rebound, shot put back, and good.
And that's those offensive rebounds that we talked about earlier. The Lady Cubs are really going to have to do a better job of boxing out and securing one shot, one rebound. They can't keep allowing the Lady Bulldogs to get multiple looks on the offensive end.
And they'll turn it over and give the Bulldogs a chance with 3.2 seconds left here in the first quarter. Natalie Smith inbounds the ball, works towards midcourt, 1 second remaining, puts up a shot. No good. And that will do it, folks, for your first quarter. East Knox up to a 6-point lead. They lead the Lucas Lady Cubs 12-6. We'll be right back at the other side of this short commercial break.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Welcome back to this special presentation of girls high school basketball on the OH Report. Hayden Gray and Joshua Banks with you here from the Cub Cave tonight, where the East Knox Lady Bulldogs hold a 12-6 lead. Second quarter just now underway. Opfer gets the first look of the quarter, gets her own rebound, but second shot no good. It's the Lady Cubs. Olivia Brown puts up a layup, no good. Rebound to Natalie Smith.
That's back-to-back possessions where the Lady Cubs have held the Lady Bulldogs to one shot.
Some back and forth. The ball will be turned over there. Olivia Brown just took a few too many steps. Something we, discussed during the breaks in between the quarters is that, Lucas, for every bit of adversity they're facing tonight, not giving any easy looks at all to the Lady Bulldogs, who corral the rebound, put up a shot, and it's good. Number 35, Raylan Todd. Olivia Brown working under the hoop. That shot just rims out. Rebound goes to Natalie Smith, who really likes to push the tempo. Has a great acceleration once she gets across midcourt.
Yeah, definitely looking to push the ball as quick as she can when she gets the ball.
Divin kicks it to Kayla Salyers. Finds Smith back open with a lot of space, but that shot was deep. Couldn't connect. Rebound goes to Rastelli. East Knox sets up a play and clear that they like to try and work it inside. Brown, though, face some contact. Lady Cubs turn it over and opt for would have an open layup. Kathy Grover would like a timeout. You take one more look here. Some of the fans looking for a travel. But nonetheless, East Knox has now exploded out to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, Natalie Smith proving why she is the point guard of this team. She's getting layups. She gets to the lane at will. And that's a great pass. Not the first pass that we've seen from her to her teammates where she's led them to a wide-open layup.
So, again, it's been, an up-and-down year so far, up-and-down season here in the early going for both teams. We took a look during pregame at who the Lady Bulldogs have faced thus far. They've played a Heath team, a tough Pleasant team, and then beat that difficult Fredericktown team who I've had a chance to see once this year, but just their fifth game so far, just their fourth game so far this season. What do you like that you're seeing out of this team right now that the Lady Bulldogs can really look to capitalize on as the season progresses?
I think it's their hustle on the offensive end. I mean, when they put up that first shot, they do not give up. They're doing everything they can to get an offensive rebound and get a second, third, and fourth attempt for their offense. And it's really impressive to see. It's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, when you've got a team that hustles, that wants to get the ball out, wants to run, it's a lot of fun to watch, and it's hard to stop.
Play resumes now. Lucas picks up the foul. Katie Griffey will be heading to the line. Went inside, drew the contact, and that's something they got to do, try and create some opportunities to pick up some points from the line. Third team foul on East Knox here in half number one. First shot, no good.
A little too strong on that one, just off the back rim.
Second opportunity now for Griffey. And that one very similar to the first. Just found that back part of the rim. Now Natalie Smith pushes the tempo, kicks it inside to Divin. Nice screen set from Opfer, who had a chance at the offensive board. But it'll be Kea Salyers who comes down with the second. The third chance look and gets the points.
And there it is again, not giving up on the play, getting offensive rebounds and getting more looks at the basket.
Olivia Brown's shot was blocked. Recollects it though. Works it inside to Griffey. They'll say ball was last touched by the Lady Cubs. So another battle inside. And it's clear, as we commended Lucas for it, East Knox and what you mentioned as well, they obviously don't want to give up any easy buckets. Looking at some comments that Coach Todd's made this season, she said they want to be known for their physicality, intensity on defense. Their words of the year were grit and intensity. They want to make sure it's known that they're not going to back down. As Sydney Opfer gets another bucket here in half number one.
Yeah, it's a great post feed to get it to your 6-foot post and just get her an open look down low. It's hard to stop in girls basketball.
And just a sophomore, a nice piece to have to this lineup. Just Coach Todd's second year or third year with the program. She was assistant in year one. As Natalie Smith takes it all the way inside. Couldn't finish, but who other than Opfer right there when you need her?
Yeah, absolutely. Sydney Opfer again, using her height, getting a rebound, taking one step, and getting a left-handed finish for the layup.
14 rebounds now in this first half for East Knox. Battle for the ball.
Looks like we're going to have a foul on Kiara Ammons.
That'll be the third team foul for the Cubs here. So both sides doing a nice job. And as I previously mentioned for Lucas, that's pretty important with the lack of rotation they'll have tonight as Alyssa Arnold checks in and Kiara Ammons checks out. And as you've mentioned several times, the bulk majority of these girls never going to have a chance other than those quarter and halftime breaks to take a seat. I don't believe Rastelli, Olivia Brown have sat down at all tonight.
I don't believe Griffey sat down either. I mean, and when you've got three girls playing Now, even at the girls' level, and even when you're only playing 32 minutes in a game or whatever it could be, it's hard to have the energy to do that at the high school level, no matter how well conditioned you are.
And the tallest player on that East Knox team at 6 foot, like we mentioned, 2 inches taller than the next closest for East Knox, Kiara Ammons, who stands at 5'8". If they did have Shelby Grover active, she's listed at 5'9", but the Lady Bulldogs showing off their ability to get those second chance boards still as their lead continues to grow, up 18 now. 3:20 left to play in the second quarter. Shot up, just hits out from Kiara Ammons. Leah Burley. Now Smith puts up a three, and that one's good. First three-pointer of the day for either side, and Natalie Smith knocks that one down.
Yeah, Natalie Stone, I'm not afraid to shoot the ball. You leave me open, I'm going to knock it down. That's her second attempt tonight. She's 1 for 2.
Brown gets an open look inside. Gets the first points of the quarter for the Lady Cubs.
That's a big basket for Brown, too. She did a great job of getting inside and getting herself a layup.
27-8, 2:25 here left in the second quarter. Divin fumbles the ball a bit. Passes it off now to Jay Nanette, who kicks it over to Smith. Now Divin puts up a shot. That one good. Nice open look under the hoop for her.
And yet another assist for Natalie Smith.
Playing really solid team ball here in the first half. The Lady Bulldogs are. You can tell this is a team that's going to really gel well over the coming years. 3 seniors in their starting lineup, but the other 2 just sophomores. Smith will get labeled with the turnover, said she carried. She'd take one more look, was trying to face through that contact. Just the 5th turnover for East Knox.
Yeah, they've played a great game so far, you know, limiting their turnovers and doing everything they can to score off of the Lucas turnovers.
Another basket close to the hoop and capitalized on by the sophomore Olivia Brown. But Smith pushes the tempo right back. A foul was called. Played it a little dangerous there next to the line. Was able to stay in bounds, but a foul was called. Not sure on who, but Raylan Todd will head to the line. First shot up, no good. 2 of 4 from the free throw line tonight collectively as a team. Opportunity now to increase their lead to 20. Second shot's up. We'll take an awkward bounce, no good. Did get the offensive rebound, but couldn't capitalize on that either. Now Rastelli facing some tough defense from Todd. And Todd will be called for the blocking foul. We'll take one more look on our Mechanics Bank instant replay. Rastelli and Todd were battling it out. Tough call for the officials to have to make, but goes in favor of the Lady Cubs, who looked like they were going to draw a second, but too many steps before the contact, as it's just been so many times tonight. And that'll be another turnover. Now just a minute left to play. Divin puts up a shot. That one no good.
Well, and back to that blocking call. It's super difficult for these officials to be able to differentiate. Did the off arm cause the contact, or what exactly caused the contact and made the player fall?
Back out to Rastelli, who fires up a quick triple. No good. Rebound goes to Jay Nanette, who gets it off to Natalie Smith, who wasn't contested, took it right into the rack and comes away with 2.
And again, that's just Natalie Smith doing what we've seen her do so far this entire first half, which is take a ball coast to coast with that acceleration as Olivia Brown gets another wide open layup.
Brown's played a nice first half as well. Several times where she's created the opportunity to break loose from the defense. Now Ernsberger into the game, kicks it off. And too much on that pass for Opfer to handle. And believe it or not, a little bit too tall that time. Put it up there too high for Opfer. Just their 6th turnover, now 3 seconds. Rastelli launches it from half court, and that shot will be no good. And that will take us to halftime with the score. East Knox 31, Lucas Lady Cubs 12. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we've got halftime stats, analysis, and more right here on this special presentation of Girls High School Hoops on the OH Report.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Welcome back inside of Lucas High School, the Cub Cave. Hayden Gray and Joshua Banks here with you this evening as the East Knox Lady Bulldogs hold a 31-12 lead over the Lucas Lady Cubs. Want to take a chance now, though, to thank all of our sponsors who help provide this special presentation here tonight. Spherion Mid-Ohio, let us help you build the career you want or the awesome team you want. We build real relationships with you so we can understand what you need and get it for you fast. Ohio Valley Manufacturing, heavy gauge stamping and pressure blanking services. Hiring now. Contact them today. Mechanics Bank, that's better. And Knox Community Hospital, in the community for the community. Be sure to get out there and thank these sponsors. Check out what they offer, goods and services in your area. And while you're there, tell them thanks for providing this live and free coverage and being a big supporter of that. Also, thank you to BS Media Productions. But obviously couldn't be here without the sponsors, so wanted to make sure we get that in there and give a big thanks. And while we have a chance, Joshua, let's take a look at some of these replays that have got us to the score we've had here in half number one. And Sydney Hopper's been all over it.
I mean, absolutely. You see it in both replays you just watched. Offensive rebounds ending up in layups. That's what all 8 of her points have been so far this evening, is off of the offensive glass or off of an assist. So it's really hard to contest, as you're going to see Natalie Smith here just knocking down the 3-ball. Between her and Opfer, it's been really hard to slow down the Lady Bulldogs.
And then on the other side, that last replay you saw, Olivia Brown for the Lady Cubs. She's kind of been the sole offensive answer for them. A few other buckets. Katie Griffey has got on there a few times, but Brown, definitely not backing down from the challenge tonight.
Absolutely not. Every time she catches the ball in the post, she's looking to drop step and go get a layup. It's really actually impressive to watch.
So we'll definitely be looking to see how the play continues from some of those players that you saw highlighted in those replays. But we're going to take one last quick break here during halftime. Be right back with all of the stats from the first half. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Welcome back to Lucas High School inside of our halftime show brought to you by Spherion Mid-Ohio. And let's take a look at the numbers and see how East Knox has built this lead of 31-12 at halftime. 13 field goals, a three-pointer not down by Natalie Smith, 17 rebounds, just 6 turnovers, 4 fouls, 2 of 5 from the line. On the other side, Lucas, 5 field goals, 0 three-pointers, 6 rebounds, 11 turnovers, 4 fouls, and 0 of 2 from the line. Sydney Opfer for East Knox leads all scorers with 8 points. Any specific number that stands out to you on this list, Joshua?
I'd say the rebounds, 17-6 on rebounds, and most of those are offensive. You've seen East Knox really working their tail off to get those second chance opportunities, and then turnovers. I mean, I know it's only 11-6. It's only a 5 turnover difference, but 5 turnovers in a game that's gotten to this point is tough to overcome.
And that it is, and that wraps up our halftime show. Thank you to our sponsor, Spherion Mid-Ohio, as the first possession doesn't bring any points for the Lady Cubs. Opfer now kicks it over to Diven. Thought about a 3, but instead drives inside, but not enough power on the layup. Rebound goes to Brown. Rastelli kicked it out to Kiara Ammons, who just faced some contact and was moving too quick, not able to hang on to the ball. That'll be their first turnover of the half.
And not the way you want to start out. You have a missed shot and then a turnover. We'll see what East Knox does here to take advantage of those 2 miscues to start off.
Natalie Smith wants to think about a 3, and a wise idea. She knocks it down, her second triple of the night.
Nothing but the bottom of the net there, as Smith shows again. She's 2 for 3 on the evening from 3, and there's a reason that she keeps shooting it.
Brown working tough inside against Smith in the post, puts up a shot, no good. Offensive board put up, but now Opfer corrals the defensive board. So during halftime, our producer Adam Thompson did finally get the official word from an official that running clock, as of last year, the official guidelines for that is a 35-point lead. It can only go into play in the second half, and the deficit must be below 30 for that running clock to stop. So obviously could appear in today's contest. Not a given, but thought we should know. We've always kind of wondered, because you hear different things when you go to different places, Joshua, but while we got the chance, 3 officials here tonight, always good to ask and find out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something that, nobody really knows the official rule, and it was something that we needed to know in our line of business. So definitely awesome of the producer here to go get that info for us.
24-point lead right now for the Bulldogs. We kick it back out to Smith. Pump fakes, got Brown in the air. Now layups up, no good, but a battle for the board. That'll be a jump ball. Possession remains with the Bulldogs. And again, Brown and Smith, they've really been duking it out here in the early parts of the second half.
Absolutely, and Smith, cueing the offense, but Brown doing a great job down low and defensively to try to prevent East Knox from getting those second chance opportunities.
Todd works the ball, goes inside, puts up a shot, uses the backboard, and it's good. First 2-point field goal for East Knox here in the second half. Miscommunication between Rastelli and Ammons. We'll turn it over, and you took one more look at that last bucket from Todd. Timeout. Lucas would like a 30-second timeout. 5:18 left to play in the third quarter, 38-12. And I feel weird. I haven't said hello to anyone who's watching tonight. Obviously, being broadcast a little bit later tonight than we would like. But, hey, if you're watching this right now, drop a comment. Let people know who you're rooting for, what player or school you're rooting on, and maybe where you're watching from tonight. So always want to make sure no matter whether it's delayed and free or live and free, we're still working that fan interactivity, so let us know in the comment section who you were cheering on tonight. And we are currently working on getting everything back to how things used to be here at Lucas High School. Big shout out to Taylor Eisman for being such a helping hand. We will get it figured out soon, folks. As Olivia Brown was trying to go coast to coast, turned it over, and now Smith gets a chance, and she'll be able to go inside and finish for 2.
And that's just the Lady Cubs trying to get up the floor as quick as they can, not able to control their dribble, ends up in the hands of Smith, and she gets a wide open layup.
Nice explosion from Rastelli. She hooks up with Kiara Ammons, and that one was nicely done.
Yeah, it's a great job by Rastelli to get inside, and then the great pass to Ammons. I mean, you can't ask for much more.
Divin with a nice ball fake, drives inside and gets that one to go. Some nice redemption for her after the last one I know was not up to par for her level of play. And a timeout now. This is exactly what you were trying to avoid at all costs tonight. Maggie Rastelli limps off to the sideline, able to come off on her own power, but this just another bit of adversity here for the Lady Cubs. Alyssa Arnold will check in, and that's it.
Nobody
Lady
else
Cubs,
on
no
the
other
bench.
reserves. No foul trouble, no fouls on either side here so far in the second half, though. But there have been turnovers, and Natalie Smith forced a lot of them. She takes it all the way and finishes yet again. Starting to feel like a broken record with her.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great job defensively, and every time, like we talked about in the first half, every time she gets the ball, she's looking to push it up the floor.
So now, even more questions to be answered by Lucas. Rastelli was doing a nice job as you take one more look at Natalie Smith's last bucket on our Mechanics Bank instant replay. But while it hasn't always equated to points, Rastelli has done a nice job. It's just a 5'3" freshman of running this offense against a gritty East Knox team, and now they'll have to figure out who is going to, really control the ball and control the offense, be the leader. I'm sure a lot will look to Olivia Brown, the oldest player out on the court as a sophomore.
Absolutely. A lot's going to look to Olivia Brown, and then a lot's going to go through Katie Griffey, who, we spotlighted her earlier for a reason. She's been their highest scorer all year. Is she the person that they look to now run the offense as we have another turnover?
That ball stay with the Lady Bulldogs. Last touched by Brown. East Knox, I'm sure, happy they have not dealt with any injuries tonight, and certainly happy about that shot from Divin.
And the Lady Bulldogs are just really getting to wherever they want to on the floor to get the shot that they prefer. They're getting their best shot every time down the floor, and that's why they built the lead that they built.
And speaking of that lead, now up to 32, so they do just sit 3 points away from putting a running clock into effect. As Divin forces a turnover right in front of the Lucas Cubs bench and picks up a foul into the lane. Foul happened before the shot, though, so no continuation here, especially in high school. Coach Grover wanted a timeout. Officials did not award her one, so the pass was stolen off the confusion. Olivia Brown took it all the way in, and she looks to be not feeling well either. Too much on the layup, but put back up by Kaya Salyers. Now up to a 34-point lead. And things are not getting any easier. Should take one more look at the second chance effort from the Lady Bulldogs. So now 2:26 remaining here in the third quarter. And East Knox definitely looks like they got things clicking they average 30 points per game offensively, so about to surpass that here. I mean, they have surpassed that, but about to surpass that by 20 here, just with 1 quarter still to play.
Very efficient shooting tonight, too. That's what's led to this big lead for them. They've been efficient getting rebounds, getting layups, and the shots that they've taken are probably the shots that they practice multiple times in practice.
So a good opportunity to thank your sponsors again tonight. Highlight them all around the area. Ohio Valley Manufacturing, Mechanics Bank, Spherion Mid-Ohio, BS Media Productions. Go check out what they have to offer in your area today. And thank them when you see them for helping us bring this free coverage to you tonight. We appreciate all of our sponsors as Rastelli will check back in. Quite, the warrior mentality for her tonight. Definitely didn't look like she was feeling well, but got to come back into the game, which is going to be big to have a substitution back.
And she's their primary ball handler. She brings it up the floor during everything, so it's nice to be able to know that she's going to battle through that injury and do everything she can to get back on the floor for her team.
Molly Totten in there now for East Knox, as well as Mackenzie Ernsberger. Handles the ball right now, kicks it all to Salyers. Good defense so far here by the Cubs on this possession, but Molly Totten will drive inside, get a layup. And that will place, as you just saw the official, the running clock into effect. So the only thing that's going to be stopping the time for the remainder is if the Cubs can get it back under a 30-point deficit or timeouts.
And there's Rastelli, got to the corner, great pass to Ammons. That's what she's done all night long.
Yeah, definitely a crafty passer. And now Lucas will get to head to the line with an opportunity.
Ammons unable to convert the first free throw.
Next time we'll see East Knox will be on Wednesday, December 14th at Centerburg. That one's scheduled for 7:30 as of right now, and we will be there. So that'll be the next time we'll see the Lady Bulldogs in action after tonight, as that free throw was missed. Lane violation, so she'll get a shot at one more. And that clock's still running.
As Reese Todd has checked into the game for the Lady Bulldogs for the first time tonight.
That one no good. Rebound, though. Ernsberger puts up a shot, no good. So the Bulldogs are back out and running. 15 seconds left here in quarter number 3. In all likelihood, East Knox will look for that final shot. They will not. Reese Todd put that one up.
You're going to have a travel, and that's going to end the quarter.
Time will expire on the turnover. East Knox leads Lucas 50-14. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Money Time right here on this special presentation of girls high school basketball on the OH Report.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Back now from Lucas High School, Hayden Gray and Joshua Banks with you here for the fourth quarter as East Knox leads 50-14 over Lucas. That ball tipped. Lady Cubs get the first chance to put some points up here in the final quarter of action. Olivia Brown battling in the paint. That shot's up and good. And while it hasn't been the greatest experience for them here today, she's certainly been a bright spot, you know, in a lot of clouds.
Yeah, her 8th point of the evening. I mean, she's just done a great job of getting where she wanted to on the floor and doing what she needed to do.
That shot a little too strong from Ernsberger. Ball rolls out of bounds, and that'll go to Lucas. If you weren't here or with us during the third quarter, the running clock is now in effect due to the deficit. So the only thing that will stop that clock is timeouts. 3 timeouts left for Lucas, 4 for East Knox. Scramble for the ball. Not sure who they said it was off on.
I believe we're going to have a foul.
So the second team foul on East Knox for 1 for Lucas. So fouls have definitely not been quite, you know, we're quite used to seeing a large amount of fouls in some of the contests that we go to, but so far tonight, pretty clean game. As ironically, another foul called. So now a chance for some of these other East Knox Lady Bulldogs come in, get some playing time. As I said, Molly Totten in there, Mackenzie Ernsberger. So a different bit of rotation. Started off the year with 14 players on the roster, and when I talked to Coach Todd, obviously those 3 injuries, they're down to just a roster of 11. So anytime you can get some depth, it's a good opportunity. Offensive foul will be called on number 12, Jasmine Smith, the freshman forward. 4th team foul for the Bulldogs. Stelly. Will get called for the violation, swinging those elbows a bit too much. Trying to battle down in the corner. Ball now will be handed back over to the Lady Bulldogs.
I think that might be the first time I've ever seen that called as a violation and not as an offensive foul.
I was going to say, it took away my words for a moment as I was trying to listen too. So as you said, there will not be a foul call. But now they do put a foul up on the scoreboard. Either way, nonetheless, ball now back to Rastelli and the Lady Cubs. No call on that one. Battle for the ball. Rebound goes to East Knox. Straight into the lane. Bucket good. Jasmine Smith, her first points of the evening.
That's a great drive there by Jasmine Smith. I mean, she goes right side baseline, gets all the way to the hoop, and has an easy layup when she gets there.
Olivia Brown drives into the lane. She'll pick up an opportunity to go to the line. That one called on Jasmine Smith. You take one more look on the instant replay brought to you this evening by Mechanics Bank. Olivia Brown will step to the line. 1 of 3 here in the second half. First shot up for Brown's no good.
I'll tell you what, how about the pass there from Katie Griffey inside to Brown? That's a beautiful pass there.
Arnold will sit down now as Leah Burley checks back in for the Lady Cubs. Second shot, though, good for Brown. So 52-17. As Reese Todd doesn't waste any time, steps right up to the line. The sophomore guard drops her first triple of the day.
And that's an impressive shot by Reese Todd there. No hesitation on that one at all.
Opportunity for her to get another quick bucket. Was a little too anxious. But Molly Totten puts back the offensive board and picks up a three-point opportunity of her own.
That's a great job by Molly Totten. She got their offensive rebound, pump fakes, draws the Lucas Cub defender in the air, and finishes.
So Arnold will check back in prior to the free throw. Restilli will take a seat again. Still a bit of a limp for her, as Totten still awaits her free throw. Clock continues to run. 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Free throw up and good. Totten converts the three-point play. Believe it or not, the Lady Bulldogs' first free throw of the second half. So 1 of 1. And the Bulldog crowd, the Bulldog faithful that traveled up here tonight, lets out some loud eruptions. A lot of purple in here tonight. Almost as if they outnumber the Cubs fans, but the ones that are here in the building, Olivia Brown gives them another thing to cheer for.
Her 11th point of the evening.
Ball will stay with East Knox. Foul on the Lady Cubs, their 4th team foul of the half. Perimeter looks wide open. That three-pointer a little bit short from Gracie Wangard. I believe she'll pick up the foul. Bit of a shove. 15 foul on the Lady Cubs, and that clock just continues to tick and tick. Another three-pointer put up by Wangard. No good. Rebound goes to Lucas. Olivia Brown can't tell whether she tripped on her own feet or over her teammate. Play resumes. She's in some noticeable pain. Can't stop, or action not stopped for her though. She continues to play on. Just 20 seconds left. We'll see if East Knox just kind of tries to dribble out the clock here. And it looks like they will. Hernsberger puts up a 3 as time expires. And that will do it. East Knox comes up to the Cub Cave tonight. Gets a 61-19 victory. Don't go anywhere though yet. Coming up is the post-game stats, MVP interview, analysis, and more. Keep it right here on this special presentation of girls high school basketball on the OH Report.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Back now with our players of the game tonight, brought to you by BS Media Productions. And tonight it's going to be two, not one Lady Bulldogs, but Sydney Opfer and Natalie Smith. Sydney, I'll start with you. 8 points for you tonight and a ton of second chance rebounds. What did you see out there today that really allowed you to just get into that paint and really just utilize your height to your advantage?
I mean, really, freshman year I was on varsity, and that really just set me up. I was able to really expand, what being a 6-footer is, and not just, just being, just being there. And last year I really worked on it, and this year I was really able to connect with my coaches and my teammates, and we were able to really use that tool for our advantage.
Having the opportunity to play varsity last year as a freshman, now as a sophomore, how do you feel you've grown from last season to this season?
I have grown so much. I know it. Last year, definitely, as a freshman, you're just you're new to everything. You don't really know what's going on. But definitely my sophomore year, I've really been able to hit my key points and really expand my game.
Awesome. And now I'll ask Natalie a few questions. It's obvious that your acceleration, too, from coast to coast was a big part of tonight and the success. 17 points for you. What do you do when you get that rebound and you just see the court kind of open up? What's your goal to try and get down in the court the way you do?
Well, my goal is to not make Coach mad. She really wants me to push the ball, and if I'm not, she's like, Natalie, push the ball. So it just kind of comes with her game style. She always wants us to push the ball, and that's what I did tonight.
And then as, kind of the leader of the offense, this is a team that after talking to Coach Todd, obviously I know that your team has dealt with a lot of injuries at the beginning of the year, and this team's really had to come together, though. How have those injuries played a role, but how have all of those that have been able to stay healthy kind of come together and rally around? Because it doesn't look like a team that really has much disconnect.
Well, a big loss was Shanda, of course. I mean, she was our #1 out there last year, and to lose her, I think all of our younger classmen like Sydney, Ella, Dive, Molly, they all stepped up, and that's what we did, and that's why we worked so well together.
Well, and then the last thing I'll give both of you a chance to do, the OH report and what we do. Is there anyone that you can think you'd like to give a shout-out to?
I would like to shout out my dad and obviously all my team and definitely the freshmen that really stepped up tonight.
All right, and Natalie?
I'd like to shout out my whole team and G-Boat, my grandma up there.
All right, well, a couple of great shout-outs for a couple of great players. Again, our players of the game brought to you tonight by BS Media Productions, Sydney Opfer and Natalie Smith. Thanks a lot, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, we'll send it back to you, Joshua.
Thanks, Hayden, and we'll be right back after this commercial break for post-game stats and analysis.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Back now for the final time tonight here from Lucas High School with our post-game show brought to you by Spherion Mid-Ohio. And speaking of Spherion, want to thank our sponsors one final time tonight and give them the recognition they deserve. So Spherion Mid-Ohio, let us help you build the career you want or the awesome team you want. We build real relationships with you so we can understand what you need and get it for you fast. Ohio Valley Manufacturing, heavy gauge stamping and precision blanking services, hiring now. Contact them today. Mechanics Bank, that's better. And Knox Community Hospital, in the community for the community. And BS Media Productions, thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors for providing this special presentation of high school basketball tonight. Thank you for all your do. Go check them out in your area around you. And let's find out now the final stats and the final numbers and see just how this game shook out. 21 field goals, 4 threes, and 21 boards. For the Lady Bulldogs, just 8 turnovers, 9 fouls, and 50% from the line. On the other side, Lucas, no three-pointers tonight, 8 field goals, 11 boards on 18 turnovers, 9 fouls, and 2 of 7 from the line. And Joshua, I think that's kind of become our theme, but, you know, being my numbers guy, break things down, what was the most important factor of how the Bulldogs were able to not just win, but do it in such a convincing fashion?
Taking care of the basketball. I mean, 8 turnovers in a game, you forced 18, and then you had 21 rebounds. I mean, you out-rebounded by 10. It's hard to compete with that in high school basketball, especially at the girls' level. And when you're knocking down threes and just shooting the percentage that East Knox shot tonight, it's hard to compete.
That it is, and like you mentioned, it's always a great opportunity to do the things like they did tonight. You know, not that every team just turns it over a bunch, but keeping it under 10, something Coach Todd, I'm sure, is proud of. But that is your final statistics for tonight. Again, Hayden Gray and Joshua Banks with you on commentary, but that'll do it. We'll take a look at what's coming up for both teams here on the schedule. For Lucas, they will take on St. Peter's on Friday, December 9th, and for East Knox, they'll take on Northmore on Saturday, December 10th. Also a reminder, too, tune in every Monday live and free on Facebook and YouTube to the OH Report podcast. A lot of great guests. Last week we had head coach Blade Tackett from the Northmore Golden Knights, and we always have a lot of guests lined up. So tune in, check out what's going on with the crew and with sports around your area. But that'll do it. Your final score, 61-19. East Knox gets their second victory of the season. Would like to thank everyone that was here with me tonight, my director and producer Adam Thompson, Joshua Banks on color commentary and camera tonight, and as always, the sponsors that are about to follow, we want to thank them. Thank you to Taylor Eisman and the Lucas Athletic Department. For Joshua Banks, I'm Hayden Gray saying so long from the Cub Cave. We'll see you on a live stream near you. Have a good night, everyone.